This is one of the best tips I can give you. So if you want to help your skin look more lifted and actually see a real difference, let me show you what I recommend doing at home instead. Hey there. They won't let me play any more of this video, but you can watch the rest for free by clicking the Learn More button below, where I'll show you one at-home solution you can use to fight the look of wrinkles. Taking this one specific solution can help you deal with sagging skin, wrinkles, and other signs of aging while giving you more confidence in your day-to-day life. Don't wait. Finish the video by clicking the Learn More button right now.
Hi, my name is Dr. John Lakey, and in the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal what's really making these so-called super-agers look so young. And the one anti-aging scam you should never fall for is if you're a woman who's currently between the ages of 35 and 89, I encourage you to pay close attention because I'll also show you a scientifically proven way to help transform your own appearance just by doing one very simple thing every morning. And no, it has nothing to do with skin creams or cosmetic procedures, nor does it require any type of fancy gadget. It's something you can do right at home in less than a minute. You see, the method I'm going to show you actually stems from a scientific discovery that was made many years ago. But most women still don't know about it because, well, for one thing, it's not exactly profitable for the commercial beauty industry. And second, it initially was believed to only work for men. Now, I'll talk more about that in just a moment. But let's just say this assumption was definitely false, because I have concrete proof that women who do this daily tend to look years younger than their peers who don't. Literally, their skin looks significantly firmer, tighter, and less droopy. They appear to have far fewer wrinkles, and their complexion practically glows with youth and vitality. So I highly recommend that you try it for yourself once this video ends. But in case we haven't met before, allow me to briefly introduce myself. Again, my name is Dr. John Lakey. Many people will recognize me as the co-founder of the world-renowned Beverly Hills Plastic Surgery Group, where my partner Dr. Payman Danielpour and I have been treating some of today's biggest stars for over a decade. Or from my appearances on TV shows such as The Doctors and Entertainment Tonight, where I'm often interviewed about the latest corrective procedures. But even though I'm best known for my work as a plastic surgeon, I've also dedicated a large portion of my career to searching for ways to defy the signs of aging without knives or needles. In fact, my research in the field of youth restoration has been published in leading medical journals all around the world. However, the simple technique I'm going to show you today has never been revealed prior to this report. Because once I discovered it, I knew I had to share it with the public directly. So I couldn't be more excited for the transformation you're about to experience. But first, let's get back to our super agers. You see, I first started looking into this phenomenon after a chance encounter with two very unusual women at my clinic. Well, it wasn't exactly by chance. The first woman, let's call her Linda, had scheduled a consultation with me several weeks prior to discuss some possible treatments for sagging skin and wrinkles. So I already knew she'd be coming in. What I wasn't expecting, however, was for her to arrive with her grown daughter in tow, or at least that's who I immediately assumed the woman with Linda to be. But when she finally introduced us, I was speechless. "Oh, this is my sister Joanne," she said casually. "Oh, she's visiting in town this week, so I figured I'd bring her along. She's always wanted to see what a plastic surgery clinic looks like." Wait. I thought, this was a lot to process. Joanne looked about 20 years younger than Linda. So either there was a significant age difference between the two, or Joanne had definitely spent her fair share of time in a plastic surgeon's office before and was just trying to convince her sister otherwise. At any rate, I guess I wasn't able to hide my confusion very well, because Linda's smile instantly disappeared. "You thought she was my daughter, didn't you?" I could feel my face turning red. "It's okay, everyone does," she sighed. "That's why I'm here, Dr. Lakey. Joanna's only 2 years younger than me, but while I keep getting older and more wrinkled, she still looks like she's 30. What am I doing wrong?" I could tell this was a real point of frustration for Linda, and I truly felt for her. After all, if seeing her skin age wasn't bad enough, her sister's youthful appearance only added insult to injury. But here's the thing. At 63, Linda didn't actually look old for her age. Sure, she had noticeable wrinkles around her eyes and mouth, and the skin on her cheeks, neck, and jawline was starting to sag considerably. But these problems were extremely common among women her age. In fact, most people would consider them normal. So far as I could tell, Linda wasn't doing anything wrong. The real question was, what was Joanne doing differently? Now, if the two weren't directly related, I would have probably just chalked it up to genetics. But since they were sisters, that couldn't be the case. So I politely asked Joanne if she was sure she'd never had any work done, even if it was just a round of dermal fillers or laser treatments at a beautician's office. But she swore she hadn't. I live in a small town, Dr. Lakey. We don't even have places that offer that sort of thing. She laughed. So I decided to ask some preliminary questions about their lifestyles, just to see if their routines differed in any way. But what I learned only left me more puzzled. Both Joanne and Linda had never smoked. They rarely drank alcohol. They both had relatively healthy diets. And while they both admitted to tanning in their teens and 20s, there's no reason why sun damage would have affected one more than the other. Moreover, they both had 2 children and similarly demanding jobs. So even their stress levels couldn't have been that different. And yet Linda's skin was starting to sag, crease, and look wilted, while Joanne's skin looked taut and lifted as ever, with barely a wrinkle in sight. It made no sense. So as a last resort, I asked Joanne to walk me through her entire daily routine step by step from the time she woke up to the time she went to bed. And finally, I had my answer. It turns out there were actually 3 things Joanne did every day that worked together to keep her appearance from aging. But the funny thing is, she didn't even know what they were until I pointed them out. So let's start with Joanne's first super ager habit. Well, actually, let me back up just a bit, because in order to fully explain the significance of it, I'll first need to tell you about something called DHT. Now, DHT is hardly a new discovery. It's a hormone that all human bodies naturally produce. So scientists have known about it for decades. But for a long time, its effect on women was largely ignored. And I'll tell you why. You see, even though virtually everyone's body starts to produce more and more DHT as they get older, this process was initially linked to baldness in men. So since hair loss solutions are a huge moneymaker, funding for DHT research has primarily centered around studies on male pattern baldness ever since. But the truth is, DHT also plays a major role in how women look too. The only difference? In women, its effects are most visible on their skin. Now, that's not to say it can't cause thinning hair in women as well. It certainly can. But the biggest signs of increased DHT are actually loose, sagging skin, wrinkles, and loss of elasticity. Why? Because DHT inhibits your body's production of collagen. You see, collagen is the protein that keeps your skin firm, taut, and lifted. In fact, I like to think of it as your skin's primary support system, because without it, your skin would literally be unable to hold itself up. Now, your body's ability to produce collagen naturally slows down in the years before, during, and after menopause. But if it weren't for DHT, the effects wouldn't be nearly as obvious. Because just as your collagen production starts to decline, your production of collagen-blocking DHT simultaneously increases, making it even harder for your skin to fight gravity and maintain its youthful firmness. So if you're seeing sagging skin on your cheeks, neck, chin, and jawline, or loose, wobbly skin on your upper arms, DHT is likely to blame. So at this point, you're probably wondering, okay, but what does this have to do with Joanne's daily routine? Well, here's the scoop. Even though Joanne wasn't big on skincare and makeup, for the past few years, she had been taking a natural herb called saw palmetto to help thicken her hair. Now, ordinarily, saw palmetto is used to help combat hair loss in men. In fact, Joanne said it was her husband who first introduced her to it. But she loved how full and healthy it made her hair look too, so she figured, why not? But remember what I said about DHT being linked to hair loss? Well, the reason saw palmetto is such an effective solution is it helps naturally inhibit the effects of this hormone, even as your body's production of it increases with age. In fact, in human trials, people who took saw palmetto were reported to have significantly lower levels of DHT in their system than the placebo group after just 6 months. So not only was the supplement doing wonders for Joanne's hair, it was actually helping her skin stay firmer and more lifted looking too. That said, if your goal is to look younger, taking saw palmetto by itself won't do you much good. Because while it's great for stabilizing your body's natural collagen production, it doesn't make up for the collagen that's already been lost. But as luck would have it, Joanne had unwittingly been pairing it with something that does. You see, as someone who liked to stay active, she'd always made a point to take care of her joints. So a while back, she began taking 2 additional dietary supplements each morning. The first was a blend of amino acids, as it was known to support strong, healthy joint cartilage. And the second was something called dietary hyaluronic acid, which her doctor said would help keep her joints properly lubricated. But what Joanne didn't realize is, while she was taking these supplements to help support her knees, hips, and elbows, they were clearly having a dramatic effect on her skin as well. You see, amino acids are actually the primary components of collagen. So every time she took them for her joints, she was actually fueling the production of new collagen throughout her entire body. So while most women her age see their skin start to slack and droop, Joanne was seeing the opposite effects, because not only was she less vulnerable to the skin aging effects of DHT, she was actually replenishing her skin supply of collagen each and every day. And as for that hyaluronic acid she was taking, well, that was the finishing touch that solidified her super ager status. You see, hyaluronic acid is widely used as a moisturizing agent in topical skincare products, but this ultra-hydrating natural substance also plays an important role inside your body as well. In fact, that's where it's most important, because on top of reducing joint friction, hyaluronic acid also acts as a volumizer for your skin. Let me explain. In order for your skin to stay smooth, supple, and wrinkle-resistant, its cells have to retain ample amounts of moisture. Otherwise, they start to dry out and lose volume, which in turn causes your skin to crease, shrivel, and deflate, much like a grape turns into a raisin. Well, hyaluronic acid is kind of like a built-in moisture magnet that helps your cells retain the hydration they need to stay full and plump. The problem is our body's natural supply of hyaluronic acid gradually dries up as we get older, which results in thinning skin, wrinkles, and a lifeless complexion. So while applying hyaluronic acid topically can certainly help with these problems temporarily, taking it in dietary form has been shown to deliver astronomically better results long term. I'm not kidding. In 2017, a study confirmed that after just 8 weeks of taking a hyaluronic acid supplement, participants, quote, showed significantly diminished wrinkles compared with the placebo group. And get this, after 12 weeks, they also saw a significant improvement in skin luster and suppleness too. And the reason for this is quite simple. The most effective way to correct problems like wrinkles and dull skin, especially once you're over 40, is by moisturizing from the inside out. So even if Joanne didn't realize it, the combination of supplements she'd been taking clearly came complete with some truly age-defying side effects, because together they address the 3 biggest issues that make people appear older: sagging skin, wrinkles, and loss of radiance. But before you run out to buy these same supplements for yourself, I must warn you, while the ingredients themselves are all backed by science, I strongly discourage you from using any of the collagen, saw palmetto, or hyaluronic acid supplements currently sold in U.S. stores. You see, back in 2015, the New York State Attorney General's office ran DNA tests on 24 popular supplements sold in major retailers, including some of the most popular brands of saw palmetto, and found that 19 of them didn't contain the advertised ingredient at all. I'll say that again. The vast majority of supplements didn't contain the very thing they were claiming to supplement. But here's what's even more infuriating. Several of them were actually found to contain contaminants that were not listed on the label. Now that's absolutely appalling. And sadly, it doesn't look like things have gotten much better since this crackdown. Because after studying dozens of popular collagen, saw palmetto, and HA supplements myself recently, I discovered that they were all so diluted with fillers, there was barely a trace of the active ingredient in them. Not to mention they had extremely low permeability, meaning your body can't even fully absorb what little amount there is. So if you're wondering why Joanne's formulas were so effective, it turns out she'd been ordering them directly from laboratories in Europe at a whopping cost of over $150 per bottle. And that's not even including international shipping fees, mind you. Now, spending $500 every month to maintain this regimen might sound like a steal to my celebrity clients, but It was putting a serious strain on Joanne's finances. So I can't in good conscience recommend this option to you, because the truth is, you can actually get even more dramatic results for less than the price of a cup of coffee. That's right, I'm talking visibly firmer, more lifted looking skin, fewer lines and wrinkles, and a beautifully radiant complexion, all in one simple step. Best of all, this is something every woman can afford to do daily, and it works at any age. So rest assured that no matter how old you are or how far your signs of aging have progressed, a younger version of yourself is possible to achieve. How, you ask? Well, in an effort to make Joanne's age-fighting regimen more accessible, my partner, Dr. Daniel Poor, and I decided to take matters into our own hands. After all, we had access to the world's best laboratory, so finding the purest and most powerful form of each ingredient wouldn't be a problem. And because we'd established good working relationships with their lead scientists, we could easily source them for a fraction of their standard cost. However, after doing some more research, we discovered that the skin-transforming effects of saw palmetto collagen and hyaluronic acid could actually be amplified even further with vitamins A and B. You see, B vitamins are often called the energy vitamins because they help stimulate cellular activity throughout your body. But they're also essential to helping your body absorb the amino acids in dietary collagen. So even a high-grade collagen supplement would end up working even better in its presence. Meanwhile, vitamin A helps your body use those amino acids to generate more collagen. In other words, these two nutrients basically turbocharge the age-fighting process so that skin starts to look firmer and more taut even faster. The only problem? Well, according to our calculations, these results could only be achieved if all 5 ingredients, that's collagen, saw palmetto, HA, and A and B vitamins, were consumed together every day. And let's face it, that's a lot of pills to swallow. So to make it easier to stick with the plan, we decided to try combining them into one multi-active formula instead. Now let me be clear, fusing that many high-potency ingredients is very difficult, and at least to my knowledge, it has never been done with these particular ingredients before. Nevertheless, we stepped up to the challenge, and after several months of trial and error, something extraordinary happened. Not only were we able to successfully combine all 5 nutrients without altering their potency, but our process proved to be so precise it essentially fused them into an entirely new and more powerful complex. Because in test after test, its youth restoration properties vastly exceeded any supplement blend we'd seen before. In fact, we didn't even know what to call it at first. So we gave it the name Beverly Hills MD Dermal Repair Complex, because it quite literally worked to repair the appearance of aging skin with every dose. Now, at the time, we could only produce this formula in very small batches. So for the first few years, we were only able to share it with a small handful of clients. But the first people we offered it to were Linda and Joanne. In fact, we sent them a complete 6-month supply for free as a way of thanking them for inspiring this incredible discovery. And you won't believe what happened. Obviously, Joanne was thrilled to no longer have to spend extravagant amounts of money on her supplements because our dermal repair complex gave her all the same benefits and then some. But it was her sister Linda's transformation that really blew us away. You see, after just a few weeks of taking our formula, she saw her skin start to look noticeably younger. After 2 months, the sagging skin on her cheeks and jawline that used to bother her so much didn't even get her attention when she looked in the mirror. And by the 3rd month, Linda couldn't even remember where her deepest wrinkles used to be because she hadn't even thought about them in weeks. Now, I know looks aren't everything, but I have to admit, my new appearance has really changed my life for the better, she said in an email to me. And I knew exactly what she meant. Because while sagging skin and wrinkles may not be the end of the world, they can take a toll on your self-confidence. And that can affect everything from your mood to your relationships to your enjoyment of all the little things that make life wonderful. Not to mention, when you see yourself starting to look older, it makes you feel older too, which can rob you of your energy and make you less motivated to pursue the things you love. So when these seemingly superficial problems finally stop weighing you down, it really is nothing short of life-changing. And as an inside joke, Linda made sure to mention that everyone knows she and Joanne are sisters right off the bat now. But when I finally saw them in person, I was actually startled. I mean, the last time I saw Linda and Joanne side by side, only one of them fit the description of a super ager, and now they both look significantly younger than they really were. In fact, I remember that day very vividly because, given the rarity of super agers, it was the first time I'd ever been in the same room with two of them at once. But it wasn't just Linda who saw a dramatic difference with this formula. Our other clients were absolutely blown away too. Here, I'll actually show you a few excerpts from the emails I began getting around that time. I'm so in love with the Dermal Repair Complex supplements. I never skip a day using them. My skin is noticeably firmer and younger looking. The Dermal Repair Complex is great. It has definitely helped with my lower chin, neck to décolletage area. I now look in the mirror and see a complete difference in the texture and appearance of my skin. It's a remarkable difference. People are commenting on how great I look all the time, not knowing what exactly looks different about me. I no longer look tired and old. Thank you so much for introducing this great product. I can't tell you how proud I felt when I read their glowing reviews. After all, Dr. Daniel Poor and I had clearly accomplished a groundbreaking scientific feat with this formula. So on a professional level, this was a real career highlight. But at the same time, the more our clients praised this formula, the more frustrated I felt. You see, back then, we didn't have the space and equipment to produce Dermal Repair Complex in large quantities. So eager as we were to share it with women everywhere, we were forced to keep it confined to our clinic for a long time. But fortunately, all that has changed in recent years. For one, we set up a brand new state-of-the-art laboratory near our clinic, which allowed us to start making our Dermal Repair Complex in significantly larger quantities. And as new technology made the production of its key ingredients more efficient, we became able to acquire them at an even lower cost. So even though the batches we currently formulate would still be considered very small by commercial standards, I'm thrilled to report that as of right now, we have enough Dermal Repair Complex in stock to ship you your very own supply. In fact, because I sincerely appreciate you taking the time to watch this presentation today, I'm not even going to charge you our standard in-house price. So if you're interested in starting your transformation right away, here's what you need to know. Beverly Hills MD Dermal Repair Complex is a next-generation youth restoration formula that you take 2 capsules of daily with breakfast, or any meal of your choice. It works like this. Each dose contains a highly concentrated blend of the following active compounds. Number 1, hydrolyzed collagen, an ultra-absorbent amino acid compound that rapidly works to help skin naturally repopulate its own collagen supply. This is what gives the formula its remarkable skin lifting effect. Number 2, premium grade saw palmetto, a scientifically backed plant extract that's proven to help inhibit the collagen blocking effects of DHT as you get older. This is what helps it to slow the signs of future skin aging. But just so you know, it will also likely make the hair on your head grow in thicker and fuller while minimizing the growth of unwanted facial hairs. Number 3, maximum potency hyaluronic acid, a powerful natural lubricant that helps replenish your skin's internal moisture. This is what facilitates the visible smoothing of lines and wrinkles and illuminates your skin. Each capsule is then fortified with an advanced mixture of A and B vitamins to help accelerate the results of your regimen by stimulating cellular energy throughout your body. Which is why most women who take this formula actually report feeling
This is the